hit him that hard. First of all, like, I don't talk shit in the game because I take that shit personally. Yeah. I tell everybody, like
leave me alone.
Just leave me alone. We hoop. If you get off, do your shit, whatever. But I don't talk. I could be cooking you. I'm not gonna talk shit. I ain't gonna do none of that. But the moment you say anything to me, it's on 10. I was just trying to like nudge him.
What Dylan Brooks say to you though, bro?
I ain't gonna lie. I just don't like him.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know.
And for two, don't walk up behind me. That's rude.
Yeah.
Don't walk up on no man behind them when they back turn. Just don't talk shit. I respect everybody. Now, if you my man partner, like me and Drake might talk crazy to each other. That's my man.
You know and the other rule you can't forget.
If I don't talk to you every
day, though,
don't hit me on my birthday, man. And you know it's crazy.
What's up? What is with chill?
Oh, nothing. I was just microdosing.
Who?
Microdose.
Microdosing?
Yeah, microdose.
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 Microdose. No.
So you should try it sometime.
Do I look like a guy who needs to
microdose?
I'm feeling like a bad teenager right now because your boy's feeling grounded.
Fuck!
And intramural kickball wasn't giving me enough personality, so I started microdosing.
Holy shit, dude, I'm so dizzy.
Everything looks so purple.
You're wearing purple glasses.
Your eyeballs are just glasses without the glass. Audiobooks are just books out loud. You're reading with your ears and you're hearing with your mind.
Whoa. What the fuck, dude? Where are my legs?
Your pants.
I've been taking psilocybins to find out where I've been. I'm not meant to be an accountant. I'm meant to be accountant trees. One.
I feel like I'm walking on land.
You are.
Who said that?
The guy filming this.
Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you.
That's just a song.
Only you can let it in.
Oh.
Do you think clouds ever look at people and say what shapes we look like? Because I've been told that I look like a tree. Trees provide oxygen. It's like a ceiling fan, but for life. Think about it. Did you hear that? I think that was a lion. Weeds, grass, and trees all grow from the same soil. Your destiny is up to you. Are you a tree or a weed? Or are you smoking weed in a tree? If so, hit me up. Christmas trees in January are just regular trees. No way. Water is 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. What do you bring to the table? You can hear the trees talking. No, you can't, never mind. Let's quit our jobs and backpack through Santa Cruz. My friends call me Earth with an F, which stands for fuck, I'm tripping. I'm not meant to be an accountant.
Fuck, can't put me in a box. What's Excel?
I'm just done working for the big man upstairs.
You work for your dad.
Not anymore. I quit. Just because the sun hides the
good sports and don't okay?
Come on, we've got work to do.
Either you're with me or you're against me. That.
Introducing your champion.
Those experiences where you'll sit back and say, oh yeah, I remember that.
What's good, Wick? How are you, gang?
Alright, so today's video is about marketing. I know, it's not the most glamorous thing in the world, but I wanted to show you guys a YouTube clip that completely changed my perspective on what it means to market and promote your work as an artist. So, it all begins about a year ago. Honestly, I can't remember exactly what I was doing. Maybe I was painting or something, but usually when I'm going about mindless work, I'll put on some background noise to pass the time. And on this particular day, I happened to stumble upon the Converse interview with one of my favorite artists, Tyler, the Creator.
Everybody make some noise. Y'all let Tyler know. Let him know. What's up, y'all?
So I'm listening to this super helpful interview, and I get to about the 40-minute mark when Tyler says something that I would have never expected from an artist like him.
It's something I'm noticing a lot with the generation of right under me is like, I don't know if they too cool or they don't want to look thirsty or they're not proud of their, but like, they'll put a song out. They'll put it in their story and that's it. That's it. You went through something, you wrote words down, you recorded it, you edit it, you mix it. It's a whole thing. And you mean to tell me that you're gonna be passive with your own and just put it on your story once? Are you fucking crazy, bro?
Okay, so I think to most people, this clip doesn't sound any alarms. I mean, marketing has become such a staple in our culture, but over the last 3 years, I'd fully convinced myself that I didn't need marketing to be a successful artist.
Here in my garage, just bought this.
I mean, the idea of following trends, viral hacking, and learning about paid ads never really made any sense to me. It felt so inauthentic. And I'd always figured that if you truly believed in your work, then why not let the art speak for itself? There's no need to pollute the internet with any more silly TikToks, right? But then why did Tyler say all those things? It felt like everything he just said was the complete opposite of what he stood for. I watched the rest of the interview more conflicted than ever. What did Tyler mean by this? What was I missing? Fast forward about a year. It's the end of 2023, and Tyler's raspy voice still never fully left my mind. His words would just randomly pop up throughout the day as I worked on my videos and scrolled through social media. Around this time, I was also working furiously to complete my final film before the New Year's. And I had just about everything planned out. Finish editing, upload some Instagram stories, maybe even an Instagram post, and relax for the holidays. But as I completed task after task, it became clear that something wasn't right with this plan. See, this wasn't just any upload. This was going to be my first video in 5 months. And something just felt so wrong about putting so little effort into sharing a video that I poured everything into. And so, as I stared at the timeline that I spent almost half a year working on, I started to take Tyler's words more seriously. Maybe it was time to fully unpack what he was saying. Maybe I should give marketing a try. And so, as I prepared to go against every belief I had about marketing, I set one rule for myself: be as authentic as possible. So if making TikToks didn't feel right to me, then I didn't have to do it. Maybe there were other forms of promoting my film that excited me more. What if I edited a trailer, made posters, or even shared the behind the scenes of my creative process? Maybe I could even write an article or make some cool graphics too. And then suddenly, as if a light bulb switched in my brain, everything started to make sense. Tyler wasn't telling me to sell my soul. He wasn't even telling me to make viral videos or follow trends. To him, marketing is as much for the artist as it is for the audience.
Let's do this.
It's about building a world around your art. It's the colors, the designs, the videos. It's about being proud of what you made.
Because I put time and love and too much energy into this finished project just to put it on Instagram and forget about it. Like, no, promote your because you have to be a fan of your own stuff.
That's all marketing is. It's a reminder of the work you put into your art, an extension of your passion. And when I look at it like that, marketing is pretty fucking cool.
I just make.
I think most people are afraid.
One for all, and all for one. I used to think soccer was a sport where 11 players fought as a single unit.
After I kick your ass.
I know that's not true.
It was the stories that I gravitated to. I think about all my favorite artists, period. And it's
I
just
love to
amazing
take
storytelling.
a big and impossible risk.
It's harder to distinguish like really what makes you you.
You can go back and you see yourself going through this wild emotional journey.
What's always been important to me, man, is the music.
I like doing something not everybody else can do. And I like working hard.
I'm still a shinobi. The darkness may destroy my body, but it can't touch my heart.
I am the Super Saiyan, Son Goku!
Study the greats and become greater.
If you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment.
It's really about me challenging myself.
I want to make things, and I'm not going to be able to make things that I can call Kanye West just by making t-shirts.
If there was one thing this world has taught me, it would be to express my creativity no matter what anyone has to say. Like most creatives, I can sometimes feel terrified that someone else isn't gonna like what I'm making. And to be honest, I don't really know why. But every so often, I'll have this clear vision or a perfect picture of an idea of what I want to create. And I'll ask myself, what is stopping me from making what I want to make? It's obviously not as easy as it sounds, but sometimes getting my ideas out there and having those like-minded individuals like you around is what might not push only me, but all of you to where you need to be as well. It's what pushes us on to create, what sparks our creativity, and it all really aligns with our own passions. It doesn't really matter if it's an anime, a manga, a TV show, a movie, a piece of music, fashion, or even sports. There's always something we can take from the things we love and imbue that with our own identity, we can transform that passion into our own creation. You see, there's always like this fine line between inspiration and homage. It's a fine line that I just love to play around with because I found it to be something that always works when it comes to my craft. And taking a certain aspect of someone else's creation and adding your own spin to it, just using it to your own advantage, let me tell you, it's not always a bad thing. And there's really no such thing as a completely original idea after all. What is original though are the combinations you can personally connect through all of these existing ideas that align with your passion. You just gotta be selfish sometimes. Take what appeals to you and turn it into your own. Innovate off what your vision wants to achieve out of your own ego. One of the best things about being a creative is that we're all so alike, but at the same time, we're really all our own people. And the only defining thing that sets us apart as individuals separate from the rest of the creatives out there is our imagination. Having the liberty to think freely and roam your own personal world of what is yet to be created is just so beautiful all on its own. It's the beauty of the individual imagination that brings us so many different forms of art from whatever the medium may be. Obviously, one of my favorite examples of complete creative freedom in their story is Eiichiro Oda's One Piece. Trust me, I'll try and talk about One Piece any chance I get. Why, you may ask? Well, let me show you. I don't think most of us fans realize that the story at its current stage of serialization in both the anime and the manga is headed down a path where undeniably, Oda's juggling a perfect picture of this idea of complete free will with Luffy, Joy Boy, Nika, and just an overarching lineup of characters that possesses the will of D. However, where there is free will on one side, there is fate on the other. And the fate of this story has been perpetually set up since the earlier stages of the series, and it's what Oda's shown us with his unmatched creativity of being able to consistently keep us fans of the series so engaged regardless of what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a new character, a new island, new powers, new lore dumps, the vision of what he's created seems like it's endless because of just how much he's built in this world already. Whether you hate it or love it, the visual and performing art of One Piece's creative freedom is just on another level, that it easily separates itself from the rest, which places it on a pedestal of artistic integrity that really all these other series can look at and take notes from. But most importantly, realizing and embracing that it's because of Oda's creativity and what he's built within the story thus far that it's like he's trying to tell you, the reader, that hey look, just because my story is one of the best-selling series out there, doesn't mean I'm going to change my vision for something a majority of you guys might want to see. I aspire to be more like Oda because when you take a step back and look at the timeline of One Piece, naturally, Oda's probably changed a ton as a person. But for a series that's been going on for 25 plus years, at its core, One Piece was once an idea. And the fact is, Oda didn't second guess himself. Well, maybe he did, but we'll never know. Because even if he did, he kept going. He remained true to his vision and stuck to what a lot of themes in One Piece still continuously portray. The fate of Oda's free will was just like the protagonist that he's built from the ground up. I'll always try to find a way to incorporate One Piece into whatever I can talk about because it is something that resonates with me deeply through its message of being a free spirit, best shown with the very structure of the story itself. No matter what direction the story decides to go in, it remains One Piece. And ultimately, I'm just here to experience the adventure of the world building, the character journeys, and the storytelling through my own lens. Speaking of which, building is that vehicle that translates your imagination into reality. It takes what your mind has and makes it tangible. And what better way to express that joy of building than with a game that truly takes you out of this world. Minecraft was and still is a huge part of how I like to convey my current favorite obsessions. And you may be wondering, how the hell did I just go from One Piece to Minecraft? Well, you're about to find out.
Welcome back.
Back in 2010, just a year after the launch of the game, I quickly became obsessed with it. I mean, I have like an unhealthy amount of hours on this game. And to tell you the truth, I never really knew why. Beforehand, this was something I feel like I would have never been into. But the more I played, the more I started to realize that this was an outlet for my creative freedom. I started getting really involved with the aspect of multiplayer and just minigames in general, and before I knew it, 2012 was around the corner, and shit, everyone was obsessed with the dystopian dilemma. Everything from Divergent, the Maze Runner, to most dominantly, the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games, aka the survival games in Minecraft, was probably where I spent most of my time, and it just was proof that it was an obsession. A trend at the time that allowed you to put your imagination to work and explore the world of what Minecraft can do to what everyone is talking about. Creativity sparks in your brain because of what you're passionate about. You're never going to be able to find motivation to work without that passion. It's like trying to drive a car without any fuel. It's the energy that's there to provide what you need to express what you truly feel. Think of it as like an activation in your brain, but for your creativity. The whole point is that a game like Minecraft is generational, and is always adapting even without being updated, because with the amount of mods, texture packs, and community that's built over the years, a game like Minecraft is free. Well, not literally, I'm pretty sure it's still like 20 bucks, but you get the point. It's free in the sense that you're able to decide your own fate for what you have in store. You just gotta open up and those ideas might just start flowing in. You just gotta get to that state of flow for what's really up here, your imagination. Everyone has doubts, and it's within those doubts that lies the greatness that is yet to be unraveled. Something I'm not really familiar with a whole lot, honestly, is real life sports. I've always just been someone who sticks to the water or the beach, but I've always admired and appreciate the work ethic that comes along with playing sports. The best of the best, or as we like to call them now, the GOATs, aren't really that different from you and I. But what's interesting that sets them apart from who we are and who they are is their determination to succeed in whatever they see fit. We all know who Michael Jordan is. Whether you think he's the GOAT or not, I don't really care, but for someone to be looked at with that title, you would think from an outsider's perspective that their track record throughout the history of their career in the NBA would be the closest thing to flawless. but you'd be wrong. Once again, we're not so much different from someone who many people view as the greatest of all time. The difference between the amateur and the pro is that the pro has failed more times than the amateur has even tried. Jordan missed over 9,000 shots in his career, lost almost over 300 games, and over 26 times had been trusted to take that game-winning shot and missed. The greatest of all time failed over and over again throughout his career. But that's exactly why he succeeded in his path to becoming the best. And you know what? That kind of starts to remind me of someone who I actually am familiar with. Someone who could also be called his Airness, but we all know him as Shoyo Hinata from one of the most popularized sports series of all time, Haikyuu, has been a personal favorite of mine ever since I touched the series the way the series has touched me. That sounds terrible. Anyways, Hinata, also known as the strongest/ultimate decoy, is someone who understands what it means to fail. And not just once, but repeatedly over and over again for the sake of improvement. Hinata possesses incredible speed, agility, and reflexes that allow him to jump extremely high, despite his short height being a defining factor to his character. It's a weakness that keeps him from seeing the view from the top, but he still yearns from that sight. Hinata's absolute fearlessness on the court combined with his relentless energy often enables him to push past where ends need to meet. He's an enabler of his friends and foes around, and fundamentally pushes the court's energy to heights that even the best players in the country could never even imagine. I can't begin to describe the feeling you get in your heart just watching these matches play out and seeing him do what he does best on the court: adapting. What makes Hinata the little giant is his ability to intimidate those who look at him at first glance with a thought of doubt. Shoyo has an exceptional ability to learn and adjust to the playing field around him. Whether a wall is too high or a position just isn't aligned for himself and his setter, Hinata will always find a solution to, better yet, give him and his team that advantage. He's a creative at heart with the motion of someone who never stops giving up. It's that mentality that excels him forward to newer heights that only he can see with his own eyes when he takes off and flies high. You see, Hinata's ability to read the game and react accordingly is undeniable, and just like myself throughout this video, he has his own doubts too. But it's within those doubts where sticking to the positive and undying determination to push your vision forward that separates Hinata from the rest. Just because he missed more than a few points, saves, and chance balls, it doesn't matter. Because being able to learn from every match and understanding opponents' tendencies and even exploiting their weaknesses is when then, and only then, will he truly be able to expand his wings and fly high. I'll always be an advocate for Shoyo because he's what this video is all about. However, there is one key factor. I think while Hinata may have to some degree, he does lack a bit of ego. Introducing Isagi Yoichi, coming out of everyone's favorite football/soccer series, Blue Lock. Blue Lock is a program designed strictly for the sole purpose of forging the greatest striker to come out of Japan. The striker is the focal point of the offensive position closest to the opponent's goal, and their primary role is to convert those opportunities into goals. Blue Lock, however, takes this concept of a striker to a whole new level, and it adds in this factor of ego, which, if you ask me, just isn't important for the sake of the series, but also for the sake of the sport. Isagi is someone who can come up with these new techniques between matches that are molded from the lessons learned and the inspiration from those around him. Spatial awareness is where Yoichi excels in because that's where his strength lies, and within that is where all these other sub-techniques come into play. Just to name a few from what he's known for are his direct shot, metavision, 1-2 passes, which also lead into his adaptability of getting into those chemical reactions with other players. He's consistently evolving at a rate higher than anyone in the Blue Lock program. He's the definition of starting from the bottom and now we're here. And here, hopefully one day being on Japan's national team by the end of the series. Blue Lock is a series that makes you thrive, and with Isagi's way of understanding the state of flow... Wait, that's it. I caught it. The state of flow. Players work to enter the flow state to maximize their performance in the game. Each player needs clear and specific goals to focus on during that game, providing direction and with nothing but purpose. Purpose is where your dreams come true. Finding what makes you happy, what makes you do what you do, is what inherently gets you to where you need to be to achieve your goals. Without it, you'll lack the creativity to be able to evolve against the players who are in that state. You gotta be the one to believe in who and what you are. It's all about having instincts and strategic thinking as well. You guys think I can just make these videos with no plan in mind? It's challenging, but putting in the work is what makes it all come together. And that's the same for anyone with a dream in mind, where athletes, players, and people harness their mental and physical capabilities to the fullest. By understanding and striving to achieve this state, you can elevate your vision for whatever that may be, overcome challenges, and inch closer to becoming the best player, spiker, and or striker in the world. Even so, the state of flow isn't just from the sole purpose of what you all see in these sports, but also the only other thing where flow actually gives us meaning: music. Throughout my life, music wasn't something I was so attached to, unlike with most other things I was obsessed with. That was until a few years ago. Since then, music has completely shifted and has become a big asset within my day-to-day life, work ethic, and creative freedom. I feel like a lot of my personal favorite artists out there are just really big creatives in general. Maybe that's why I gravitate towards their music, but even then, it's not even really just their music as a whole that defines them as some of my favorites, but it's how they can really bring a vision they have to life, just by expressing their individuality and simply by being a creator. So, if you're ever feeling lost creatively, you should just give this guy a call.
Ladies and gentlemen, call me when you get lost!
Tyler the Creator is someone who can completely express their creative perception and could care less about anything that really anyone has to say, from what he wants to do and just express in return. He embraces his ideas in ways that make it right for him and those close around him. Whether it's for a song, album, clothing design, stage performance, or even a music video, Tyler always seems to have this spark within his work that resonates with whatever is going on in his life. And the way I perceive it is that the reason why his discography is so broad compared to most rappers is because he is so creative in finding ways to express his emotions through his art. And that can be everything from the most joyful to the most heart-wrenching emotions. And within most of his recent albums, while you're still getting a coherent theme that plays really well into his branding, you're also getting a deeper look into himself as a person at the time of him making all of this music. Tyler loves to double back and really push past this image of himself that people make him out to be sometimes, of someone who can really only do one if not two things. It's inside that where the fire ignites within and completely gives him the drive to be able to accomplish more than whatever anyone thought about him prior, showing the people that he can not only make more hits, but do it in a way that none of y'all could even ever expect. And the best part about it all is that he could care less about anything that comes in return. Views, promotions, Grammys, fuck it. And actually on top of that, he is someone who always recognizes games from those who came before, and has expressed many times that his work is a complete innovation and taken out of inspiration of those who really inspired him as a rapper. In 2017 is where I found about his music with his album Flower Boy, and was captured by what he had created for that summer. In 2019 with his album Igor, myself and many people were confused, but the real fans kind of knew this is how someone really conveys art in a form where it's not really just showing one side to your character, but rather being open and showing the world who the fuck you really are. 2021's Call Me If You Get Lost, my personal favorite out of his discography, because to me, it's like an amalgamation of all his work put into one project. Which is funny because it was unfinished until 2023 with the continued themes and storylines and finalized project in the estate sale. So, looking back, Tyler as an artist, fashion icon, and overall creative, you kind of think to yourself, can anyone really do anything more? Well, there's one more face that I have in mind. Childish Gambino, the man of many faces to the world, in which it doesn't matter the alias he goes by, but what truly matters is the energy he brings out in his many characters that he decides to showcase. Gambino, unlike many artists, is someone who takes side questing to a whole new level, not just within their music, but through whatever he decides to do that seems fun. He's a man who just wants to do whatever he wants when he wants. And personally, again, I find that admirable because he's able to take a turn no matter the lane and find a way to work around that art form and make it his own. Throughout his music career alone, he's made it a foundation to switch up the genre of his albums like it's something he needs to unlock for some sort of self-righteous achievement, an unlockable, a feature that's only accessible for him as a person, because in his mind, soul, and eyes, it's all about accomplishing the things people question him for, questioning his judgment about creative ideas and the path he's creating that people just don't understand except for him and, of course, all the other creatives out there. Because no matter what you say or what you do, he's a creative at heart that takes the inspiration from those who inspire him and is able to take that and use it to his own advantage in ways that bring out the light in his character, or as I should say, characters. We all know his artist name, but truly, Donald Glover is a man of finding things to tackle head on that he doesn't even know if he can or cannot do. And that should sound familiar to you, because if you stuck around this long, then I know you have it in you to create. Clearly, this is something you resonate with, and the only difference between you and him is that you're you, and even Glover knows he can't tackle that head on. When it comes to the music industry though, their influence throughout generations of pop culture is so obviously but so pleasantly aligned that it's like it was always meant to be that way. Whether it's the influence of anime, games, sports, artists, or even what I've been obsessed with lately, fashion.
Yeah, man, trying to get my character in the game. Trying to set this mug up.
If you've seen the news, or if you're just an energetically sensitive person and you haven't, it's pretty clear. that there is a really big shift taking place right now. At this time that we're alive, and we're here, sometimes it feels like things are falling apart or don't make sense. But there's a reason why these things are happening. And in time, the reason's going to be revealed to us. The purpose for all of this, it's going to make sense. There's a lot of noise out there right now. A lot of opinions, even mine in this video. What's recently happened in the world, this is just the beginning of a tipping point of really big waves of change that are coming in. And again, they might not make sense at first, but they're happening for the betterment of our world. And we're gonna see that very soon. So more is coming. Remember that it's not my opinion or anybody else's or any of the noise or any of the news or anything. It's none of our or any of that noise's business to tell you what to think. Now, it can get really easy in this time period we're in right now where all these really big shifts and everything is changing. It can be really easy to get caught up in the flusteredness that everybody else around you may be projecting about the things that are going on right now in the world. It can be very easy to get caught up in heated conversations and this energy that can really incite some feelings within you. And I just want to let you know that right now is more important than ever to find your peace, to find your present moment right here, right now, that this is where you are. This moment is what matters. Now, I'm not telling you that the stuff that's going on in the world right now doesn't matter. What I am trying to help you to see is that if you get caught up in the momentum of all the noise going on in the media and the news outlets, and if you get caught up in it, you're going to find yourself feeling very ungrounded in the power of who you are. And the power of who you are, that's where you want to be grounded in right now. You want to be here. You want to be in this moment. You want to focus on what really matters and what is really relevant to you in this moment. You've got people in your life that love you. You should appreciate them, you know? Maybe you've got a beautiful trail out near your house. You should really go and take some time to sit out there. Do what you need to do to separate from all the noise. Don't get caught up in it. Because this peace, this present moment right here, this is where all your power's at. That's what I wanted to let you know today. It's a very simple message, but I promise you that the more chaotic things get externally, the more there is a need to go within and discover the truth within ourselves. We're not going to get the truth from the news. You're not going to get the truth from me in these videos. You're not going to get the truth from somebody else's ideas or somebody else's opinions. You're going to get the truth. You're going to get what you're looking for. You're going to get that structured peace and presence and that satisfaction and fulfillment within yourself. It's the only place you're going to find it. So do what you need to do right now to tap into that and cultivate that for yourself. Go within. Do what you need to do. Maybe it's taking a bath. Maybe it's going out to a trail. And I'm not telling you to run away from anybody that wants to complain or project really intense emotionally charged opinions about things. I'm not telling you to avoid them like the plague. But when they are, everybody's sharing their feelings on things, when all the things in the world seem to be chaotic and falling apart, if you can remain present in this moment and feel the appreciation and joy for the fact that you're even alive at all, the fact that any of this is possible, the fact that we're alive, that we can perceive any of it, there is an incredible power and structure that arises within you from that place. And if you want to make differences in the world, if you want to be part of some change that is likely in the process of happening, I want you to know that you absolutely can be part of that change, but you'll be a much more important part of it if you are present, if you are grounded in the true power of who you are. And if you want to understand more about this true power and what I mean by this, I don't want to take too much of your time in this video with it, then just check out my homepage and check out some of my playlists I've got tagged for you there. You can learn more about this, but it really is simple. Be present in who you are. Don't get caught up in who everybody else is being or what everybody else might be suggesting to you you're supposed to be right now, or what you're supposed to think or do or say or feel. Nobody can tell you these things. I certainly can't. And I hope you can feel the intention of this video is to help you to realize that you need to come up with those things for yourself. Don't get caught up in these charged discussions that lead nowhere. All they do is distract us from the truth. The truth is right here in this moment is where you're gonna find it. And that's something that I just know from personal experience, to be honest. Understand, again, these massive shifts that are taking place on the planet at this time, it's gonna look like things are falling apart outside of us, but really they're falling into place. Sometimes things have to look like they're getting worse before they can get better. Sometimes the things that were the hardest periods of our life, where things seemed like they were the worst, later on in our lives, we have the wisdom to look back and realize how grateful we are for those moments. How grateful we are. How the fact that who we are right now, today, and we love ourselves when we get to this place, we see clearly that those things were happening for us. Life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. And I think intuitively you've always known that. And I think that's the only reason you could have attracted and manifested a video like this into your field. I think it's the only way. Now, what I'm about to do might seem a little bit odd, but I personally live by the philosophy that the best time to take a deep breath is when you feel like you don't have the time to take a deep breath. And I feel like right now in the world, a lot of people do not feel like there's any time to take a deep breath. So this is when it's most important. Let's take some deep breaths together. If you want to go ahead and just relax into the space you're in, close your eyes if it feels comfortable to you to do so, and place your hands over your heart. Now just become very aware of the space you're in. Listen to the sounds around you and really listen to them. Now let's take a breath in and release it. Go ahead and take another breath in and feel the freshness of the moment, the new, fresh, free energy flowing into you with this breath. And release. Letting go of all stagnant, negative energy, just finding yourself free in this moment. Knowing that you are. Now, your heart, as you continue relaxing, I want to let you know your heart has a very powerful magnetic field that has been scientifically researched and studied by multiple institutes, all proving that your heart's magnetic field reaches far out beyond you, and it connects and communicates with the world around you. And your heart is so powerful that its influence on your reality and the way things manifest for you, it's really incredible. So what I want you to do is just feel that magnetic field. I know you can. With your hands over your heart, you are already tuning to it naturally, even without knowing it. So pay attention now to the energy of your heart and feel into what your heart is saying right now. What is your heart saying right now in this moment? Tune into it and just feel. What is your heart calling you to do today?
I'm trying to think about how I want to animate them.
You see this? This is really who you are. This freedom, this presence in this moment, this love and compassionate field of inspiration. The interest in living your life and doing what you want with it is always as easy as just taking a moment to sit down, take some breaths, and put your hands over your heart. I just want to make sure you really understand that it really is so easy that in any given moment, you are more than welcome to tune into the power of who you are. Now, because you've done this, you have literally just shifted the fabric of reality. So understand that everything that is going to play out throughout your day now, and if you continue to do this process of just tuning into your heart, everything that happens is a manifestation from the power of within you, from this God consciousness that we are all a part of. None of us are separate from it. The universe works in mysterious ways, and sometimes it doesn't make sense in our heads, but it always makes sense in our heart. So understand now that as your day unfolds, things are going to be happening for you. Everything that happens is happening in your best interest. And if you really know how to be present and listen, you will always notice that that is the case, and you can receive the benefit of what it is that's happening in your life. But you have to receive it in order to get to that next step. Big shifts are taking place, my friend. I am very excited for what comes next because I know that it is going to be absolutely incredible. And in your heart, so do you. Much love to you. If you want to check out playlists on how to tune into your natural power, tuning into manifestation, calling forth abundance in your life, and things of this nature, just visit my homepage. Subscribe if you like the vibe. And
Apex Legends.
Hey, y'all. I'm gonna be back. I need to. Oh, I'm recording. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go outside for a bit. I'm going to enjoy some. I forgot to do that today.